is still possibly number 2 in terms of contribution to GDP. So really, if we can expand agriculture, it means that more people will be employed. We're also focusing on smallholder farms, even within the choices we've made as to which crops we're going to process. And the smallholder farms, we're going to really encourage smallholder farms because we think that it's easier to give people a sense, especially young people a sense, that you can become an agri-businessman. And using the smallholder farm models that we're going to use, we think a lot more people will get into agriculture, especially if we're able to provide some minimum guarantees. For example, in rice production, some of our competition, Thai rice, Taiwan, and Thailand, Vietnam, and all those countries, have all manner of subsidies. Some of them, guaranteed minimum payment for production. And so they're able to export to us at rock bottom prices and, of course, dislocate our own economy. So we think that with the smallholder farms, minimum price guarantees will be helpful in ensuring that these people are encouraged to produce, especially in the areas we have chosen, like rice and wheat and all that. For wheat production, wheat had always been a problem because we couldn't find the right strains, we couldn't find the right species. But now we have the right species. We have the species that we can actually grow substantial acreage. So we expect that we're going to do a lot more also in terms of wheat production, which is another major foreign exchange drain. So I think that the active collaboration of the federal government with state governments in agriculture will yield results. A lot is being done already. And even at the last National Economic Council meeting, we had a presentation from the Ministry of Agriculture, and we've been talking about ways and means of collaborating and working together. So we think that we will, in that area in particular. Of course, there are other aspects of the diversification effort, the MSMEs that we've spoken about, technology startups, and all of that. We think that there's a lot that we can do in housing, especially teaching people how to build their own homes. We have all these systems building initiatives now that we're talking about. We think that a lot of jobs will be created around building of low-cost homes using the various systems that are now available. And we think that teaching people how to build using those systems will also improve the quality of artisans and craftsmen that we have. So there are quite a few options around diversifying the economy.
Mr. Vice President, thank you so very much. The time has run out so very quickly. I feel almost assaulted by the clock. And each time I look at the red that's flashing at us, something tells me for this government, time is also running out. And I wanted to just ask, as I request you, Mr. Vice President, for your closing thoughts, to tell us if there is indeed an acceptance and admission of the sense of urgency that this nation feels.
No question at all. I mean, the government has tenure, as you can imagine. I mean, we're not in this business forever, no matter how optimistic we are. And we think that there is definitely a sense of urgency, But coupled with that is a great sense of optimism. I think that we are extremely optimistic, and we think that the nation itself has, in some senses, found its resolve to fight through the economic downturn and to make a real difference for ourselves and for the generations to come. I'm personally, and the President has said this repeatedly, that Nigerians not only have shown resilience over the past few years, but they've shown a new optimism. They've shown a desire to actually work with a government to make things happen. Whether that is on account of the fact that they think that the government will do well, or on account of just our innate optimism, whichever it is, it's working very well indeed. And I think that the next few years, we will see the kind of country that we want to see. I'm absolutely convinced about that. But by God's grace, in no time at all, we'll see a turnaround in this country.
Your Excellency, On behalf of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group and all our colleagues that are here, we'd like to thank you very much for the time spent, and we will hold you to your word.
Thank you.
Distinguished Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll quickly take advantage of a photo op. May I call on, he's there, and then the governors, the Governor of Cross River State, Professor Ben Ayade, and Governor of Kebbi State, Senator Abubakar Bagudu. Thank you very much. You have like 2 more seconds if that's done. Hold on. Thank you very much. Hold on. Okay, you may be seated. Thank you very much.
Yes, I am. Okay, thank you.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President has displayed a very good grasp of the issues. He has given a commonsensical approach to answering the questions that were put before him, and he has shown that Nigeria, the giant of Africa that has been said to be sleeping, is now wide awake and is out of its slumber. And in view of that, may I have the special honor and privilege to call on His Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, to declare this summit open. But just before I do that, I also want to mention that immediately after him, there will be a vote of thanks, and that will be given by the CEO of Nigeria Economic Summit, Mr. Laoye Jayola. And after that, we will have the tour of the exhibition by the different organizations that have partnered with Nigeria Economic Summit, and that will be led by the Secretary to the National Planning Commission and the Chairman Board of Nigeria Economic Summit. That is what we'll have just after the vote of thanks. But first, Your Excellency, the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Senior Advocate, may I have you here, sir, to declare open.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, governors of the states here present, Your Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, the members and organizers of the Nigerian Economic Summit, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to be here at the Coming of Age Summit of the Nigerian Economic Summit. At 21, the summit theme, Tough Choices, Achieving Competitiveness, Inclusive Growth and Sustainability, is appropriate indeed. Adulthood always comes with huge and complex responsibilities. The theme thus highlights the challenges and paradoxes that define our economic and social circumstances today. We are at a time of monumental challenges and tough choices, but also at a time of incredible opportunities for achieving competitiveness, inclusive growth, and sustainability. We as a government are called upon to make tough choices in exchange control restrictions, altering the absurd recurrent to capital expenditure ratio, reducing the deficit, and reducing the overall size of governance. We're called upon to clean up the mess and rebuild the institutions that corruption has ravaged over the years.